Hi, welcome to Art Moves. My name is Lynn Fleischman, and today we're going to explore our relationship to the space around us. We're going to be playing with where our bodies are in space, how they move through space, and our relationship to that which we encounter, other people, things in space. We'll be exploring how we take up more and more space, and then how we come back to our own internal space, to our center. The point of doing this is to increase the range of our spatial awareness, thus providing us with more choices. Um, on a physical level, when we cultivate spatial awareness, we increase our ability to move safely and confidently in the world. And that's certainly very important as we age, especially in regard to balance and fall prevention. And it also has an effect on our emotional and mental lives. We develop our sense of when to reach out to someone with an offer of help or asking for help, and when to kind of pull back and to keep our own counsel, when to speak up, and when to be silent, when we need to trust our own wisdom, and when we really need to listen to the wisdom of others. Okay, so you can stand or sit for any of these movements. Standing or sitting is equally creative and expressive, or you can move between the two. I'll be moving between the two so that you can see a little bit of what it's like to do both. Okay, whichever way you do, if you're standing, make sure your feet are flat on the ground and your feet are about hip width apart and your knees are not locked. Let your torso be centered over your feet. Keep your knees loose, which allows your arms to be loose also. You can even give a little bounce. And stack your spine a little bit so that your head and your whole torso are really squared over your pelvic bowl. Okay. And if you're sitting, similar kind of thing. Make sure you're sitting upright in the chair, equal weight on your sits bones, feet flat on the floor. Don't cross your legs, and your arms, however they rest comfortably. And you're not rigid, but you're upright. Okay. All right. So let's get going. We start with breath. First, just notice your breathing and where you feel it. Maybe the nostrils, back of the throat, rise and fall of the chest or the abdomen, maybe a little bit in the rib cage to the side and back. And notice your belly and let it go soft. We often hold a lot of tension in our bellies. Just really let it go. And on the inhalation, let your belly expand outward to the front. And on the exhalation, let it sink back to the spine. It's a gentle movement, very gentle. You'll notice it's not much movement, but it's clear, it's there. Yeah, just deepening that breath. Softening the belly automatically deepens the breath. And if you notice any tension anywhere, just send your in breath there. Maybe your knee, your shoulder. And when you exhale, relax that body part. And let your breath fill. Let your breath fill the whole body. And bring your limbs, they may already be there, but bring your limbs kind of close in. Your legs together, your arms close into the body. So you're contained. It's a little small container. And gradually, gradually begin to increase the space between your body parts, maybe starting with the fingers. The fingers, maybe moving the arms a little away from each other, letting the elbows come away from the body a little bit. Letting them come in and out. Space above, to the side. Don't forget about the back. And bringing space to the front of your chest and belly by leaning back a little, only to the point where it's comfortable. And leaning forward a little bit, increasing the space in your back. And your ribs side to side. Notice when you do this, there's always a counter movement. If I increase the space on my right side, my left side contracts. So you're going out in space and then you're coming back to yourself and letting your legs do the same thing. They begin to move apart a little bit. Maybe your knees move apart. Yeah. You know, maybe if you can, lift your legs, one leg at a time. And if you're sitting, let your leg go out. If it will, if it doesn't, don't worry about it. Use your arms. Moving, whatever. We don't worry about the rest. Coming in and letting yourself go out. Yeah. Exploring the space above, around, as though there were a small bubble around you. And it's the size of your reach. The size of your reach. You're moving in your bubble. Okay. And if you're dancing with another person in the room, let your bubble expand enough to meet their bubble. So now you're in a bigger bubble of two. Let yourself move together. And if you're dancing by yourself, send your bubble right through the screen so that your bubble joins mine. So now we have a bubble that has room enough for both of us. How do we move together? That changes things a little bit, right? You find yourself pulling back. You find yourself taking lead. You find yourself wanting to do something different. Just notice. Just notice. And keep, bringing the space in and letting it go. Okay. Now, expanding the bubble even more to include the room that you're in, maybe even the whole structure you're in. Depending on how good your audio is, you may be able to move from room to room. But if not, use your imagination. How do you move through the space around you? There's objects here. Objects. You encounter them. How do you move? When you encounter a wall, or a chair, or a plant. What's the energy of a plant that you could move with? So we're practicing moving out to objects and then coming back in. Moving out, coming back in. Play with how close you can get, how far away. And if you're in a chair, certainly have some range of motion side to side. And use your eyes. I can dance with a big plant across the room just with my eyes. Yeah, many ways we interact, many ways we exchange energy. Okay? All right, good. Now, we move through space in many different ways. We might trudge. We might stride, stomp. We might tiptoe. Just tiptoe. We might glide through space. Try out some of these. Just try some of these different ways of moving through space. Try these out. Yeah, see if you can think of more. You might slink through the space or hop through the space. And notice if your relationship to whatever is in the space with you, whatever you're sharing with, changes. Notice if your feelings are different or your thoughts. I certainly have a different energy when I'm trudging than I do when I'm gliding or I'm, kind of sprightly hopping. Okay, just notice how different ways of moving through space affect the thoughts and feelings that occur to you. All right. Yeah, you can practice moving quickly or slowly through the space, being low in the space, being up really high in the space, being under the space. Okay. Coming back to yourself. Moving out. All right. Now, using your imagination, let your sense of space expand beyond your walls, into your neighborhood, how do you move through your neighborhood? I've been noticing in the era of mask wearing, I tend to look people in the eye more than I used to. I used to be a little shy and self-conscious about doing it. Now I'm really want to make eye contact. Yeah. How do you move through your neighborhood? And then how do you move through, I don't know, your city or your community, your town, wherever you are? That's sort of immediate space. Maybe you've had to adjust how you move through something. How did that change your perception of what you're moving through? And let yourself expand the sense of space even more so that you're moving through the landscape farther away. Maybe a mountain, maybe a forest, a lake, maybe even all the way to the ocean. What's the movement, the energy, not a parody or a pantomime? What's the energy of each of those places? You know, what's the energy of them? Just let that, don't even think about it, what you're doing. Just let that energy of tree or wave move through you. And then maybe you go all the way out to space. Clouds. You know, how does it feel to occupy the space of clouds, the sky, or the space of stars? What does that feel like? Let yourself be there. And gradually begin coming back, again, incrementally. Don't just go from the stars into the room you're in. Take it back through. Stars, clouds, rain, wind. Back down to the Earth's surface. Back to the Earth's surface. Over the landscape. Desert. Mountains or trees. Whatever landscape you want to inhabit. And then back. Back to your city or town, farm, wherever you are. Back to your neighborhood. How do you come back? How do you come back? How do you come back to the space gradually of yourself? And back into this room. Back into your relation with the objects in the room. Your relation with any other people or creatures, four-legged creatures. Your relationship with me on the screen. Pulling it back to yourself. How do you pull it back to yourself? Your own sense of containment. Huh? And don't stop just because the music stopped. Let the movement come to its natural pause. Sometimes that takes a couple of seconds. And when you feel that you're settling, then let the movement end. And come back to where we started, which is the breath. Maybe put your hand on your belly. Put the other hand on your heart if you like. Let your belly be very soft. Feel your heartbeat. Breath. That's the space within you. The outside space coming in. The inward space going out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for your willingness to explore moving through space.